Alright, what's up mga ka-investa? Good evening to everyone. And thank you for joining our stream tonight. So, medyo matagal na since our last live session. If I'm not mistaken, around early December pa yung last, nung around Christmas time pa yung last live stream natin, nung pinag-usapan natin yung mga life lessons and financial lessons for 2022. So, syempre, back to regular programming na tayo today. And shoutout sa inyo, Boss Nolly Ayon. So, welcome to the stream. And today, ayun nga, back to the regular program tayo na we will be having our live charting session. So, guys, feel free to submit your requests as I invite to the stream my co-hosts or yung mga kasama ko sa panel ngayon. So, of course, hindi pwedeng mag-live stream na wala si Boss Toma. So, ayun.
Yon! Teka, baga ipasok yung mga kasama natin. What's up mga ka-investa? And good evening. It is great to be back. Happy New Year and great start of the year here sa markets. And guys, please, so shout out muna tayo, no? Boss Raymond, good evening. Dimple, good evening. Bro Wilson, shout out OJ Fam, good evening. Guys, pa-comment naman if clear yung audio ko. If di ako nagdalag, medyo nagka-internet connectivity issues kasi ako pero mukhang okay naman. So yun lang. So Kahane will be doing a lot of the talking tonight. Will be doing a lot of the hosting tonight. So what's up? Renz, bro Renz, good evening. Yon, Boss Raymond, Mark, Ronald, good evening. Thank you for joining us on this fine Sunday evening. But of course, hindi kami nag-iisa. And we're happy to have back on board for our first charting session of the year. Of course, our partners from Open Journal. So, aantayin ko lang mag-on ng camera bago ko i-add sa stage si Bro Matt. Mukhang wala pa siya. Pero sige, so wait lang natin para sabay. Ayun na.
Okay na.
Pasok na natin. So, Bro Matt and Doc Mark. So, what's up? Good evening, mga sir.
What's up?
Good evening.
Everyone. Good evening. So, shout out
Good
sa
evening.
mga Open Journal fam. Shout out sa Investa community. Thank you for having us again. Tagal na. Parang 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago? 1 month ago?
Yung tayo, Matt, mga more than mga 1 month ago. Mga 5 weeks ago. Oh.
Nice. Na-miss ko yung ganito. Na-miss ko yung ganitong live.
Yun, nice. So guys, I'm sure lahat nakita na ng new face ngayon. So si Doc Mark. So Doc Mark, for the benefit of those na baka hindi ka pa kilala or hindi part ng Open Journal or hindi napanood yung interview natin nung I think that was mga late November. Could you give a quick introduction about yourself para sa mga ka-investa natin na kasama natin tonight?
Okay. So, quick introduction lang, no. I'm Mark Roland Palones, no. I'm a doctor by profession and I've been introduced to the markets last 2015, so mag-8 years na ako this year. Then from medical field nag-shift ako in after graduation, nag-focus na lang ako sa markets instead of practicing as a doctor. So, ayun. Currently, I'm a full-time trader and full-time portfolio manager na din. So, yeah.
Yun, nice. Thanks, Doc Mark. Dami nagpapa-shoutout sa'yo, Doc. Dami nagko-comment.
Wow. Bagong mukha ngayon sa Investa.
Yun.
Galing.
Okay. Siguro, mga sir, no, before we head over to look at the market, siguro, since nga, halos 1 month na tayo di nag-usama, maybe pwede tayo quick kamustahan lang. So, kamusta yung start of the year, no? So, ikaw muna, Kahane Boy, kamusta ba yung start ng 2023 mo?
So, starting 2023, okay naman. Ayun, like, markets o general life, buhay.
Yun, okay.
Anyway, okay naman yung start of the year ko. Things are going as planned and yeah, goods naman.
Yun, okay. Salamat, Kahane. So, next, Doc Mark, Kamusta naman? Di ko alam kung nagalag si Kano. Ako yung nagalag. Doc,
Para sa akin, nag-lag ba si Kahane o yung internet ko yung nag-lag?
Ano ba? Market related ba?
Hindi. General lang. Kamusta yung start of the year?
Okay naman so far. Yung good 2 weeks naman, no. So sa market din okay naman din yung first 2 weeks, di ba? So hopefully mag-continue into a strong year. But let's see.
Nice.
Ikaw, bro, Matt.
Ako, during holidays, last month, no, as always, lagi yan isa sa mga busy month ko, diba? And then of course, itong start ng year, January, pag-open pa lang ng market, at least both the equity market, Philippine stock market, and then cryptocurrency side, no, at least tumatakbo. So, medyo busy the past 2 weeks, but okay na yun versus sa nangyari last year na walang masyadong ginagawa. So, okay naman overall, goods.
Yun, tama. So ako, same na naman. Good. To end the year, last year, holiday season, medyo matumal yung market. So nag-focus ako sa mga ibang important na mga bagay sa buhay. For example, kami ni Kahane, tatakbo kami ng marathon sa Feb 5,
Wow.
42 kilometers, no? So nag-i-ensayo kami ni Kahane. Yung problema, si Kahane, nagka-blister sa paa. Di matakbo.
Doc, kaya pa ba natin yun, Doc? Kaya pa ba natin mag-full marathon?
Kaya natin yun. Turuan mo ako, di ba? Turuan mo pa ako mag yung sasama pa ako sa mga rides mo, di ba?
Yun. Nice.
So, ayun. So, start of the year, okay. Masaya naman. Workout lang. Create ng content. Siyempre, focus sa Investa. Maraming mga magagandang bagay na is gonna be coming everyone's way in the coming weeks. So, just look forward to that. So, okay. I think that's enough of an intro. Without further ado, maybe we can start looking over at market. So, to everyone watching, please feel free to comment down below yung mga charter question, whether PSE, US, or crypto. All markets look very interesting while we do a look on the overall health of each market before we begin. So, Kahane, pa-share na lang yung screen mo.
Alright. So,
And then maybe we can start with looking at the PSE. Right? And maybe we can start with you, bro, Matt.
Nice. So at least Philippine market, no, like I mentioned kanina, the past 2 weeks start of the year has been very busy for us as a portfolio manager, no, managing clients' money. And even if you guys are trading your personal fund, I'm 100% sure na busy din kayo. And it's very a great 2 weeks for us, no, at least sa Philippine market. So fundamental wise, at least what we've been seeing the past 2 weeks, or even actually last parang mga first week, mga December pa, no, last month pa, what we are seeing is parang pina-price in na, no? What we've been seeing is pina-price in na ng traders and even investors yung expectation nila sa central bank. What you need to know, guys, the biggest problem or at least difficulty we had last year is the central bank, the Fed. They continue to raise interest rates, and then high interest rates as high as 75 basis points, which is a bud for risk assets like the Philippine market and emerging markets. So this year, the expectation, given the fact na nagkakaroon ng, at least in terms of inflation, the CPI report in US, bumababa na. Like for example, last week, they released 6.6+%. Not sure lang dun sa exact figure, but at least bumaba na siya versus dun sa 8% last year, even more than 8%. So, the expectation for the Philippine market, and not just the Philippine market, but also emerging market is major probability we might be seeing a good quarter one, or even let's say a good quarter two for the emerging markets like the Philippines. Why? Because of the weakness in the US dollar. Diba? As we all know, if you guys have been following us sa mga charting session natin, lagi tinitingnan ni Kahane, ni Toma, is the US dollar. And if you check last year, 2022, strong US dollar, very difficult for us to participate in the Philippine market. Now, breakdown of the US dollar, then a potential move for emerging markets like the Philippines, and ang nakikita natin potential move and rotation din is sa commodities. Okay? Going back to the chart, that's the fundamentals for the Philippine market and potential catalysts, and also the reason kung bakit potential good quarter 1 to even quarter 2 sa atin. No? Technical wise, as of now, at least, as you can see sa chart ni Kahane, no, we nagkaroon ng breakout, short-term breakout sa Philippine market. Kailan to? Last trading day, last Friday. Diba? Maganda yung breakout niya with a clear volume. But as you can see, even before, parang 3 weeks ago pa, there's a big accumulation, big volume spike na nangyari. Anong day yan ulit? Parang, ayan, last month pa. So 1 month ago, nagkaroon ng big volume spike, which is a good sign for us. No? So, the next question now, given that you have that kind of candlestick, you have that kind of chart sa Philippine market, is it Monday, Tuesday, or maybe coming to this week is a good time for us to participate? For me, given na nasa overbought condition na yung Philippine market, for me, this is the best time for you to look for opportunities muna, okay? And wait for the market na mag-consolidate or mag-sideways. Meaning, mag-ano muna siya, mag-quiet down muna. Kasi marami ng issues na tumakbo eh. Diba? The past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, may mga tumakbo na. So, for me, coming to this week, it's a good for you guys to review, check some opportunities, given na, again, nasa overbought condition yung market. So, yun for me sa Philippine market. So, may mga opportunities, marami pa opportunities sa Philippine market that we can also take a look at.
Yun. Nice, thanks, Bro Matt. So, Doc Mark, I forgot to ask, no, and hindi ko na masyadong maalala. Anong market primarily trade mo?
Trade ko PSE and crypto. No?
PSE and crypto. So, Doc Mark,
US din ako, pero magbabalik pa lang ako sa US this year. Na-busy kasi last year.
Yung get. So, Doc Mark, baka ikaw, mayroon kang insights dito sa PSE?
Sobrang nasabi na ni Matt lahat, no? So, pero yun nga. So, parang summary nung last year, di ba? Parang hirap ng market last year. Mainly because nga dahil sa Fed nag-increase ng interest rates dahil nga doon sa inflation. So, kailangan nila i-increase yung interest rates. But this year, like nung nakita natin last week sa inflation rate ng US, yung report, CPI report, bumaba na, no? So, parang mas lumalapit na doon sa target nila na 2% na inflation rate. So kaya nakita rin natin na breakout yung actually emerging markets yung kasi ang main catalyst din na possible kasi nga weakening na yung dollar, slowing na din yung inflation, tapos yung bond yields din parang bumababa na. So for those lang na for the benefit of others lang din. So pag bumababa kasi yung bond yields, yung iba na may malalaking funds, mababa na yung return sa kanila eh. So, nagtatry silang ilipat sa ibang assets. So, pwedeng equities. And, yun din, pag humihina yung dollar, kunyari ikaw, foreign investor, mahina yung dollar, kailangan mo siya i-convert into other currency. Then, pag kinonvert mo siya, tsaka mo siya ipaparticipate dun sa market na yun. So, basically, kaya siguro nagiging, rin yung bullish din yung slightly bullish din yung PSE ngayon. But yun nga, sabi ni Matt, nasa overbought condition na tayo. So medyo pa rin, wag ma-FOMO, no? Hintayin pa rin yung proper setup pa din, ganyan. So for now, bantay muna ulit. Ganun. So nakapag-participate ka the past 2 weeks, it might be a good time to trim your position, mga ganyan. Pero kung hindi naman, wag mo na habulin, di ba? So, hintayin mo muna mag-consolidate, hintayin mo muna bigyan ka ng entry, ganyan. Wait for a pullback, ganyan.
Yun. Okay, so ito naman, I have a question, no, Doc Mark. I think, syempre, one major headline sa Philippine economy is, syempre, unemployment is going down, pero inflation is still at a record high, right? Inflation is still at a record high, but markets are moving higher. So, tingin mo ba, no? Parang has the negativity from inflation already been priced in given that the PCI is breaking out?
Paulit nga kasi medyo parang nag-choppy yung ano.
So, di ba, inflation, para recently nag-report, tapos, ano siya, high para sa Philippines, no? Pero, the markets, despite yung negative news na yun, still breaking out higher. What do you make of that? Tingin mo ba priced in na lahat ng negativity when it comes to inflation?
Possible, kasi for me, sa akin kasi, sa system ko talaga, ang priority ko is price. So kahit anong sabihin nung news, nung report, it's how the price will react. Yun pa rin yung susundin mo, no? So kung nag-breakout yung price, so probably priced in na yung ano, di ba? Pero hindi pa rin naman natin masabi, pero if titignan mo lang yung price talaga, nag-breakout siya. So parang
Price
kung ikaw
in.
meron na price in na nila yun.
Always remember, no, thank you, Doc Mark, just to remember, everyone, no, price moves ahead of fundamentals, meaning 6 months to even 12 months, no. So meaning what you're seeing now, yung move ng emerging markets like the Philippines and US market, andyan na rin, potential sumunod na, they're pricing it in already, yung slowdown, okay? Wala pa yung cut ng interest rate, kasi coming to Feb, first week ng Feb, no? Basta next month, they will still need to raise interest rates, no, to 25 to even 50 basis points. So, hindi yan magka-cut ng rates, but as traders and investors, pinaprice in na nila yung slowdown, no, in the coming months.
Yun. So I think that's enough para sa PSE, no? Maybe quickly we can go over the US. Right? So, siguro kahit ako na sa US, no, or Kahane, if meron kang gusto idagdag. I think well, since di na ako active sa US market, pero active ako when it comes to the people who are very active sa Twitter pagdating sa US market, like Richard Moblin, yung mga sina Mark Minervini, Mark Ritchie, and one of the things that's interesting to me now, Matt mentioned a lot of things a while ago, but what's interesting to me from a price point of view, Mark Ritchie always mentioned that if malabas mo nga Kahane yung EMA 200, if you can edit one of the moving averages, that what always, sabi Mark Ritchie II, ever since like mga early 2022 pa, what always keeps the lid on the bear markets rallying higher is always the EMA 200. Right? And if you look at it, diba, from the past 12 months, dun lagi nauuntog, mag-overshoot na onte, tas babagsak, magkikreate ng lower low. Right? Pero now, the difference now is the S&P 500 has finally made a higher low. Right? And it's now, higher low, it's now retesting, right, the 200-day moving average. So, parang medyo, as a tipping point na, as a very important point na dapat mabasag to ng US markets. And I think if US markets move higher from here, risk assets, whether in emerging markets or cryptocurrency, will also benefit, right, over the long run. So, ikaw ba Kahane? Ano take mo?
So mostly same lang sa'yo. Yung pinakagusto ko lang sa US market ngayon is, gumawa siya ng higher low. And parang when you check the different ETFs, parang nag-stabilize na yung mga prices. Like, hindi na tumutuloy masyado yung downtrend ng ibang sectors. And there are also already some names that are already breaking out ahead of the overall index. So, yun lang for me.
Alright, so now maybe we can move on to something na inaantabayan din na lahat. Of course, take a look at the crypto market, right? So, maybe we can go back to you, bro, Matt. Labas mo Kahane yung Bitcoin.
Nice. Perfect. That's your 200-day EMA.
Yep.
Nice, perfect. So at least, what is very important here is your short-term breakout from the bottom. You have your multiple bullish divergence. So that's one. But if you take a look dun sa baba pa, you also have a short-term breakout dun, even before that medium trend line. Yan, dun pa sa baba. Sorry, medyo may pagka-trader. So dun sa
Dito ba?
Yan. Or even dun sa forward mo pa. Yan, pwede na yan. So yeah, at least no, as a trader, big volume spike is very important as a trader. So as you can see, ito yung pinag-usapan namin ni Toma last year, yung 16,000 to even 20,000. Is it an accumulation or distribution? Kasi if you zoom out from long-term perspective, makikita mo yung volume. Sobrang laki, di ba? Yan yung pinag-uusapan natin eh. And then, that's your weekly time frame. And even if you take a look at it, very important to see, yung nakita natin is your falling wedge, which is a sign of, well, actually, that's a continuation pattern. You have a clear bullish divergence on the weekly time frame, and then you have a falling wedge. And as we learn in Open Journal, ito yung dinidiscuss natin, we focus first on the setup. Ano yung pattern? And what we saw in Bitcoin, aside from price, is a clear falling wedge pattern. So you can use yung weekly time frame para mas kita. Yan. Diba? So you have your falling wedge pattern, break, yan, perfect. So falling wedge pattern, and then a clear breakout at a weekly time frame. So, short term, for me, go back to daily, given the fact that, let's say, you're asking now, your question now is it a good time for me to buy right now, tomorrow, or even Tuesday? Going back to my case analysis no, sa RSI, Relative Strength Index, currently, Bitcoin is now at your 89-90 level. In major probability, with the confluence of your 200-day EMA. So major probability, according to textbook RSI, major probability magkakaroon ng short-term pullback. And again, as a trader and investor, that's actually a good time for you to participate. Okay? Not now, not today, not tonight, but for me, like Doc Mark mentioned, no, sa Philippine market, you wait for clear pullback. Maybe dun sa breakout point niya, maybe mga 19,000, 18,000, and then you wait for it to consolidate before you participate. Okay? Ngayon kasi medyo actually it's overbought condition so it's very difficult for you na maghabol. Alam ko may FOMO, may fear of missing out na hindi nyo nakita agad, but for me, it's better to wait for price to pull back and consolidate before you participate.
Yun, okay. Well said, bro, Matt. So, siguro to add na lang, no, before we move on sa mga individual stock requests. So, maganda point ni Matt, right? So, very, oversold. Kita yun na it moved, measure ko lang. In a short span of mga 4 trading days, si Bitcoin moved almost 25%. So, malaki na yun considering how the markets have been last year. And pag na-FOMO kayo, trust na lang na nung nag-breakout siya sa 18,000, hindi siya madaling bilhin dun. Kasi given all of the negativity for 2022, parang maraming duda na ito na ba? So if you missed out, right, if you weren't able to position yourself, you weren't able to participate in the momentum, diba? If dami na nagsasabi, bull run na ba to? Siyempre, di natin alam. But if it is, right, just assuming na it is, diba? Edi, just have to wait for the pause, right? Like sabi ni Doc Mark a while ago, you have to wait for the pause, have to wait for the proper pullback. Don't chase prices, especially now oversold, untog siya sa EMA 200. Right? So patience lang, right? Just wait for the setups to form. And even in a lot of the leading tokens, a lot of them have already shot up big. So I'm also waiting for a good pause like in Gala and Solana, etc., etc. So yun, maybe now we can start with the individual stock request, starting with Noli, ang una nag-comment. So ang gusto niya is Converge and SPX. Maybe, Kahane, we can put up Converge and we can start with you, Doc Mark. Ano tingin niyo sa Converge? Tapos drawingan na lang ni Kahane yung mga gusto mong i-drawing niya.
Okay, sige. So Converge, no? For me, kasi, mas maraming parang stronger issues for me than Converge. But if gusto mo talaga yung Converge, siguro I'll wait na maging above though above 200 MA siya previous last trading day, but meron kasing mga current stock sa PSE ngayon na nasa bullish na talaga. Kumbaga nagsusupport na siya sa higher MAs na eh. So ito parang bine-break pa lang niya, magbe-breakout pa lang. So for me hindi ko muna siya kung ako lang naman. Hindi muna ako mag-enter. And seeing the current rally rin, medyo parang extended na rin. So kung gusto mo talaga siya, I'll wait for a pullback na lang din dito.
Yan, okay. Thanks, Doc Mark. And then maybe we can move on to SPNEC para sa'yo, Kahane Boy.
Alright. So, for SPNEC, medyo similar lang rin sa sinabi ni Boss Mark. Parang maraming ibang mas malakas na issues right now. Like, compared na sa Converge, yung SPNEC hasn't even broken out of its neckline yet. So, if you want to participate in SPNEC, most likely you'd want to see a continuation pattern happen somewhere here and hopefully breaking past this. But then, given that, yun nga, malakas ngayong markets ngayon, most likely, mas magandang maghanap ng ibang opportunities and stronger names and in higher quality setups.
Yun. Alright, thanks Kahane. So gusto niyo pala malakas ha. So ito, from Raymond, no? Request niya is dito now in BDO. Siguro we can do now tsaka BDO. So let's start with now. Right? So, syempre, one of the leaders pagdating sa PSE. So, siguro, I want to get your insights dito, Matt, no? Let's say, siguro, bibigyan kita ng scenario, Matt. 2 scenarios. Let's say, number 1, I'm someone na tinitignan pa lang to. Hindi ko alam kung ano gagawin ko. Diba? From what would you do? And let's say, I'm someone who was able to buy this. Sabihin natin sa 150. I'm sitting at a 60-70% gain. What do I do now?
Correct. Okay, so first, both scenario muna, siguro yung question dyan is, ano yung reason kung bakit umakyat? At the end of the day, if you're looking into a potential buy, if you want to participate sa isang stock, you look for ano yung catalyst. No? Yung catalyst is basically, na-disclose na naman na nila yan. So it's actually, nakita ko dito, US government sealed a deal with Now Telecom to expand the 5G network in the Philippines. That's your catalyst. So they released it parang 2 weeks ago. So the next question now is it priced in? Given the move, what happened? Diba? What happened kailan? 1 month ago, 2 months ago. That's your catalyst, that's your fundamentals. Going back to the question is, I want to participate, na-FOMO na ako dito sa now, is it still viable for me? Okay. For me, if let's say wala ka pang hawak, this is not the best time for you na maghabol. That's number 1. The reason behind this, you have a clear overbought condition plus you have a clear bearish divergence. So very important yan as a technical trader. Kailangan you have actually multiple bearish divergence at extreme overbought condition. As a trader, it's very important to look at. Kasi nga, again, like I mentioned kanina, major probability, classical textbook RSI, major probability niyan, if ganyan na yung nangyayari sa RSI mo, is meron profit taking. So that's my answer to the first one. So for me, if you really want to participate, wait for a clear pullback, maybe 10-day or even 20-day. That's number 1. Okay, saka na tayo dun sa bearish divergence invalidation kasi medyo technical siya. As for number 1, second is, I'm holding it, nabili ko siya sa, let's say, ano yung merong ano dyan, mga 130, yan yung may pullback dyan, 130 or even above 160 level for a clear breakout, diba? So, should I hold? For me, it's a hold, given na baka hindi pa tapos yung story, baka meron pang maghabol. But on the other note, this is also the best time for you to trim your position. Maybe lock in your profit. Diba? At the end of the day, this kind of stock, hindi naman, I mean, lahat naman ng stock hindi naman tumatakbo na straight line. So magkakaroon yan ng profit taking. So if you're holding it, for me, given na you have that kind of technical condition na multiple bearish divergence, extreme overbought condition, trim your position, lock in your profit, and then do or calculate your trail stop. Yung trail stop mo, maybe that's your 20-day EMA. Diba? Bakit 20-day EMA? Kasi if you take a look at it, since the start of the move, hindi siya nahuhulog doon. So, you can consider that as your trail stop. First step, again, trim your position, maybe 20-30% of your position size, and then trail stop mo na lang doon sa 20-day EMA.
Yun, nice. Great. Well said, bro, Matt. So, that's for now. So, agree ako sa lahat ng sinabi ni Matt. Ito, I think another thing that's interesting, especially what's happening sa global scene. No? So, Chris Kokal has as a request, APX tsaka PX. No? Pero siguro, for those who may not know, APX and PX, syempre heavily influenced by gold. Right? So, maybe Kane, pwede mo ilabas yung gold. Right?
Alright.
Before we move on to the specific stock. So, mga sir, if you guys are updated, no, I'm curious. Bakit nga ba umaakyat si gold at this rate?
Doc Mark.
Hello. Okay. Yung gold, currently, parang on a current rally siya ngayon. Kasi nga, yung sinabi natin kanina regarding dun sa weakening US dollar. Kung makikita natin yung dollar ngayon, parang as in talagang, though tuloy-tuloy pababa niya, pero entering na rin sa oversold condition, no? But yun yung major, parang nakikita kong major reason kung bakit tumataas din yung gold. Kasi nga pagka yung mga commodities and gaya niyan, mga precious metals, usually lagi silang pegged sa US dollar. So when the US dollar goes up, usually the precious metals goes down. Yun yung parang basic na So, yeah.
Just to add then, thank you, Doc Mark. No, that is correct. Now, due to the weakness of the US dollar, just to also add, merong analysis sa Open Journal yung na-present namin. No? Parang majority of the central bank has been accumulating gold since last year, 2022. So that's actually plus the confluence of the weakness in US dollar. So again, lagi yan inverse, no? Major probability inverse lagi yung nangyayari. And also the reason, at least sa gold, yan yung potential, at least expectation, major bias namin coming, this 2023, merong rotation din sa commodities, which is already happening.
Yun. Okay, so Kahane, may dadagdag ka ba ron?
Alright. So, mostly sabi naman na nila. And yeah, wala mo nadagdag.
Yun, sige. Okay lang, bro. So, nasabi nga naman lahat. So, and now looking at the strength of gold, syempre, the strength is spilling over to some gold-related stocks in the Philippines. So, as requested by Boss Chris. So, maybe we can take a look at APX tsaka PX. So, Kahane, ano yung take mo dito, no, sa APX?
Alright. So, take us sa APX and PX. I guess parang siguro share ko na rin yung research na pinost namin sa Invest Prime Research Group. So, for those who are subscribers, nakita nyo ito. We found that mostly yung mga local stocks, yung mga local gold mining stocks aren't as strongly correlated to gold as, let's say, for example, yung nickel and yung commodity niyang nickel. So, for nickel, parang, let's say, sobrang lakas ng nickel sa commodities markets. Let's say, nag-rise siya malakas. Mostly instantaneous yung correlation na nag-rally rin yung stock sa local market. Whereas, for APX and PX, madalas may lag pa yung moves and minsan, they don't really follow as strongly. So, for me, although magandang trade pa rin siya in the local market, it just broke out of its long-term resistance. And malakas pa rin momentum for APX and for PX. For me, parang mas optimal na maghanap ng ibang equities to trade na related to gold in the other foreign markets. So, yun lang for me, Roma.
Yun. Ako siguro to add to APX, no? to counter yung point ni Candelo lang. Ano lang, if tignan mo kasi sa weekly, from a price point of view lang, no, when I looked at it from the weekly chart, medyo interesting siya kung price lang. Right? It's breaking out of a 2-year
4 years.
base, so 24-month base. So which is from a technical perspective is something interesting. So that's something I would probably keep an eye on. But if you would compare APX to PX, parang mas malakas pa rin si APX. So yun lang, that base is something I would definitely keep an eye on. No? So okay, so that's for APX and PX. Ang next request natin, finance sector, BDO. So bike tayo sa'yo, Doc Mark, para sa BDO.
Ayan, okay. So BDO currently broke out of its 52-week high na, no? Last week.
Kanya naka-weekly ka. Yun.
Thanks lang.
No. So ayan, no. So 52-week high yan, di ba? 1 year ba? Tama.
Correct, 52
So,
week high.
yan. So, yan yung masasabi natin kanina na mas stronger issues. So, basically, siguro, pinaprice in na rin kasi, di ba, banks usually higher earnings from last quarter. So, pinaprice in yung na magkakaroon ng higher earnings this first quarter. So, maybe yun yung nagiging catalyst niya. But, yan. Same with BPI din eh. Nag 52-week high break na din. So, baka sumunod din yung other other banks, no? So, yun.
Sila din yung nauuna eh, no? BDO, BPI, even Metrobank, andyan na rin.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yep. So, yun. So, that's for BDO. Ang next request naman natin for you, bro, Matt, is DMC from Adrian.
Nice, perfect. So, one of the strong issue we have in the Philippine market. So, at least what happens sa DMC, no, after a clear parang gap down dyan because of the dividend yield, no, parang mga 7% ata yan. And then yung reason kung bakit umakyat is potential rebalancing play. So what we are seeing now, as of now, kung last year yung parang yung nangyari yung story last year is Semerara nauuna, sumusunod lang yung DMC. Okay? Now, 2023 or even started last month, yung nakita natin is nauna naman yung DMC. So as of now, as a trader, as an investor, like I mentioned, in terms of the strategies of Philippine market, yes, it's still a good opportunity for us to participate, but not as of the moment, given the fact na currently, same sa Philippine market, nasa overbought condition na siya. So for me to participate sa DMC, you need to wait for a clear pullback, maybe to 20-day or even dun sa breakout point niya. Sa 1070, 1080 level. Even if you take a look yung weekly time frame niya, no? Weekly time frame niya, tingnan natin kung nasa na yung malayo pa. So you have your resistance level at 1614, parang 16 plus level. Another one is your 1290, parang dyan sa level na yan. 1290 to even 13 pesos. Diba? So for me, as a trader, you wait for clear pullback, consolidate, and then your next target price is around 13 to even 16.90 level.
Ayun. So that's for DMC. Thank you, bro. Ito, no, I think this is a great way to transition to the main point of our charting session, no, was to answer how to approach the markets this 2023. So we have a question here from Ed Mervin Q. Ang tanong niya, is a recession out of the picture, right? Considering foreign banks are still preparing for this scenario. So maybe we can answer that question, and the question also of how the four of us plan to approach the markets moving forward throughout this year, no? So maybe going back to you, no, Doc Mark. So maybe to first answer the question ni Ed Mervin, basahin ko lang ulit, no. Do you think a recession is out of the picture, right? Maybe globally, considering that foreign banks are still preparing for the scenario?
For me, hindi pa rin natin masabi kung ano na, 'di ba? Kung out of the picture na 'yon. But But for me, kung tinatanong na is this the start of the bull market, for me hindi pa kasi from a downtrend usually magbe-base muna tayo magbe-base muna tayo then like a sideways pattern or kung anong base man yun then so before going if mag-break tayo doon then we can say na maybe start na ng bull. But for me hindi pa kasi nga unang-una may mga recession fears pa. Pangalawa yung inflation mataas pa din. Hindi naman siya slowing down but still high. And ano pa ba yung yung ina-expect ko rin kasi yung Fed na would still be hiking but are already close to to the end of the hiking or just maintain na lang yung rates. So yun yung for me.
Ikaw, Kahane, tingin mo ba, is there still a fear of a recession or are we over that?
So, yung from most notes from yung mga central bank meetings, parang na-mention siya paminsan-minsan. But then, as of the moment, parang para sa akin, anything can happen. And I guess yung question na how will I tackle the markets in 2023 is siguro parang babalikan ko lang rin yung sinabi nila Matt kanina na mostly I'll be following price. And so far, sa ngayon, nagpapakita na malakas pa yung markets. And although, yun nga, hindi pa siya fully broken out of bearish territory since may major resistance pa, parang para sa akin, it's a sign na we can scale in, but then slowly scale in kasi wala pa tayong final confirmation na okay, goods na lahat, na we can go full throttle.
Okay. Thanks, bro, Kahane. Actually, di ba dapat sasagutin ko ano gagawin sa 2023? Pero okay lang. So, next, siguro ako, before we move on kay Bro Matt to answer the question. So, just to go back to it, ano nga ba yung tanong? Ayun, is a recession out of the picture considering foreign banks are still preparing for a scenario? Syempre, I can't answer that with full conviction if a recession is gonna happen or not. But what I can say is, from a personal point of view, I feel like it has been priced in. Kasi there's three words we've all been hearing since 2022: is interest rates, inflation, and the recession, right?
Correct.
And yun yung inaantay ko for the longest time, magkaroon ng peak pessimism sa market, right? And that happened sometime nung late 2022 when everything was just at the bottom, though. And then when I saw the S&P 500 starting to make a lower high, that's when I thought, now okay, things can get interesting now, right? To Doc Mark's point, do I think it's a start of a bull market? I don't necessarily know, pero what I do know is prices are moving higher. And luckily, I had a few positions on, right? I had a few positions on that made money. So if it continues to make money, I'm gonna continue to scale in. Pero until then, parang I'm just being patient, just waiting for what's gonna unfold.
Nice. Perfect. Thank you. So at least yung question doon is out of the picture na ba yung recession? For me, parang 50-50 eh. So, ang discussion ngayon, not just sa Philippines, but also majority sa states is, are we going to a soft landing or hard landing? Meaning, yung soft landing, mas mabilis ba na recession to? Meaning, maybe 6-8 months? Or even yung hard landing na medyo mas matagal and mas masakit for us? As traders and investors, I think yung if you take a look from an opportunity standpoint, parang this might be a good time for you guys to accumulate. And again, accumulate, hindi ko sinasabi na maging aggressive. Accumulate given the fact na nakita na natin na at least merong move yung market, not just for the Philippine market, but potentially, let's see, in the coming weeks sa US market as well. But ang sinasabi ko lang is, this year might be a good time for you to accumulate going to 2024. Like I mentioned kanina, and even si Kahane, si Thomas, si Doc Mark, hindi rin namin alam kung out of the picture na yung recession. What's good to know for now is price is moving, you have an opportunity for us to participate. And if you take a look at it, macro standpoint, marami pang mga kailangan tignan from a macro perspective, no. Number one, the weakness. Number one is your central bank. Like Doc Mark mentioned, inflation rate hindi pa siya bumaba siya pero mataas pa siya. Central bank, all eyes on the Fed. The target is 2%, so risk is still there in terms of your inflation rate. Kasi syempre, the more na umakyat yan, the more na mag-hike na naman ang rate yung central bank. Another one, which is good, okay, for us, emerging market, is the weakness of the US dollar. So sinasabi na namin yan kanina, potential, di ba? Emerging markets will be the main beneficiary of the weak US dollar, like the Philippines, and rotation sa commodity as well. Risk naman, ano yung potential na bear or even magkakaroon ng recession or even pumangit yung market. Number one is your geopolitical risk. Diba? What is happening in China and Taiwan. That's one. Like I mentioned kanina, yung inflation. Going back, just to add, yung bull case potential is the China reopening. So that's something that you also need to consider aside from the weakness of the US dollar, but also the China reopening. Yan yung mga discussion But going back to your question, is recession out of the picture? Parang 50-50. It really depends. What we've been seeing now, reading the news, catalysts, mga different research analysis, it's are we going to a soft landing or hard landing sa recession?
Yun, nice. Solid. Thanks, bro, Matt. So hopefully to the person who asked a question, si Mr. Cube, nalamutan ko yung first name. Hopefully that gives you some solid insights. So since Kahane already answered, no, how he plans to approach the market this 2023, which was to focus on price, maybe we can go to you, Doc Mark, no. So the main question for this charting session is, how do you plan to approach markets this 2023?
So, this 2023, kasi nga, di ba, yun, maraming uncertainties. So, for me, una, dapat maging aware ka dun sa
Naglag.
Wala ba? Okay. Kala ko ako. Sige, nag-lag si Doc. Antayin natin mga 10 seconds. Sige natin kung babalik. Sige, ako na muna sasagot, no? Since nawala si Doc.
Ayan, nawala pa ako. Ayan.
Si Doc, isa pa.
Okay.
From the top.
So, ayan. So, take two. So, sige. So, yun nga, since maraming uncertainty coming from last year to this year. So, 2 weeks pa lang naman. So, hindi pa natin alam talaga kung ano. And sa markets nga, anything can happen. So, we must be aware of the macroeconomic risk. No? Kasi, basically, yun naman talaga yung naging problem last year. And I think going forward, yun din yung mga magiging big factors. No? So, and for, second point ko is, be picky with your, be picky yung, sa market environment ngayon. Time your entries well. Like, yun nga, sabi ko kanina, huwag kang FOMO. Kung hindi ka nakapag-participate the past 2 weeks, wait for it to consolidate muna. Yung mga nakapag-participate, the past 2 weeks, sila yung mga nag-prepare last month. So, ikaw, pag nag-consolidate this time, it's time for you to prepare para the next rally, makapag-participate ka na din. Then, third is, siguro review mo yung objectives mo, yung goals mo, yung kung strategy mo, if aligned ba sa current market environment. If, for example, ikaw, trend follower, tapos sa PSE ka lang nagtitrade, syempre, mas magiging picky ka talaga kasi hindi, like, sa PSE, long lang, tapos hindi pa naman ganun ka trending ngayon yung market. So, yun. So, i-adjust mo rin. Depende sa strategy mo. So, yun. Review mo yung objectives and goals mo. Kung trader ka na, ang goal mo is to grow your money and compound. So, yun. Like, for example, itong previous rally, you have to sell into this rally. Ganun. Then, but if you're an investor, focus mo is on growth and with strength and with value. Ganun. So, yun yung firm.
Yeah. Yun, nice. Thanks, Doc Mark. So, ganda sabi, Doc Mark, no? And to go to echo one point he made a while ago, those who were able to participate in the rally now were those who were prepared since last year, right? And to those who di naka-participate sa rally, as I mentioned kanina, okay lang eh. Kasi marami akong nakikitang na-FOMO, marami din nababad trip na hindi nakapag-participate. Especially sa crypto, that wasn't that if you weren't checking it from a if you weren't actively trading it from a lower time frame, especially nung tuloy-tuloy na siya umakyat, di talaga siya madaling sakyan eh. Especially considering how much pessimism there was just a week ago. So, okay lang yun. Ano lang, sabi nga ni Doc Mark, just prepare. Just prepare for the next one if there is gonna be a next one. And siguro for me, how I plan to approach markets this 2023 is to, number one, as I always say every year, always stay prepared, always stay on top of markets, regardless if bull or bear. You always want to have a feel of the market, parang basketball lang, kahit gaano kagaling, pero pag matagal ka hindi naglaro, tumigil ka 2 months, di ba? You won't be able to shoot the ball properly. So it's the same thing pagdating sa trading. You want to continue to keep a pulse on the markets. And I guess how I plan to approach it is to be more patient. I feel like last year, maraming moments where I was pulling the trigger too early. Not only sa execution, pero parang sa overall views ko sa market. Just 1 or 2 good days, it would lead to me to start buying a couple of names. And that's already considering na 2022 was the year that I least traded, parang less than 30 trades, something like that. So I think just being more patient also, and I'm starting to shift the way I'm trading to more of a position trader approach instead of more momentum lagi nakatitig. Kahit may Investa Watcher ako, syempre shout out sa mga prime users. Yun, parang I want to approach, especially pagdating sa crypto, more of a position trading parang style of execution. Considering kasi na there's a lot of other things I'm doing now sa buhay ko, not only sa personal pero pagdating sa finances, it would better serve my time, di ba? Knowing my circumstances, how na I would primarily shift to more of a position trader approach. So parang yun yung focus ko coming into 2023. Always stay prepared, stay patient, and then just yung shift, yung minor shift lang pagdating sa approach ko. So that's for me. So ikaw naman, bro Matt?
Nice. So, Thomas, pwede mo na sabihin na naging busy ka lang sa life of Toma.
Hindi lang doon, maraming ibang bagay. Yun naman yung life of Toma, yung pag-workout ako na may vlog. Ano yun?
Inspiring.
Ginagawa ko yung madaling araw, kaya labas sa markets yun. Pero may mga ibang bagay din akong ginagawa, alam ni Kahan, na nakaka-take din ng time. So di ako lagi nakatitig. So nag-shift na ako ngayon.
Nice. But yeah, thank you. Siguro for me, like Doc Mark mentioned, you need to take a look at it from both two sides. If you're a trader and investor, diba? If trader ka, this is this quarter one, like I mentioned kanina, this quarter one and quarter two might be a good time for us to participate in the market. Historically, starting November or even December until Feb or even March is always the best for risk assets, for equities and cryptocurrency. So as trader, yes, there will be a lot of volatilities. There will be a lot of FOMOs. There will be a lot of undisciplined trader. But make sure to know your system and strategy well. Okay? As trader as well, this is actually the best time for you to learn new things or even look for a community partner, basically. Okay? A community that can help you excel in this kind of business. As an investor, like I mentioned na kanina dun sa question about the recession, this might be the best opportunity for you guys to step in, okay, and accumulate and review some opportunities, not just in the local market, but also abroad. Given the fact, like I mentioned, number one, you have the weakness, yung potential positive catalyst natin for this market to even go higher is number one, you have the weakness of the US dollar. And then second is Fed, central bank, started actually slowing down their interest rate hike. Wala pa tayo dun sa cut, but at least meron ng slowdown. And lastly is the China reopening, which is also part of the emerging markets. And of course, will benefit the Philippines as well. Again, as an investor, this will be the best way for you to look for opportunities and accumulate funds going to 2024. As an investor, syempre, ayaw mo yung bumibili ka sa taas. Gusto mo lagi yung mura, merong discount, 20, 30%, 40% discount from its target price. So for me, that's how I will approach the market this 2023 from two perspectives, being a trader and being an investor.
Sorry, nakamute pala ako yun. Thanks, bro, Matt. So, yun, hopefully, to all of our viewers, may kayo nakuha dun sa mga insights namin how we plan to approach the markets this 2023. So, we're already about an hour in. Maybe we have some more time to look at maybe 5 to 6 more charts. So, feel free to start commenting down below. I'll try to curate to look at the more interesting charts. So, we'll do dalawang crypto. Halos wala nag-comment ng crypto, pero ngayon meron na from Miles Tan, no? So BTC, ETH, Sol. So we already went through BTC. Maybe we can do ETH and Solana. So maybe starting with Solana for you, Kahane. Right? Recently, may na-report tayong news dito. Ano nga ba yung rason for the price increase dito, Kahane boy?
Alright. So yung Solana kasi recently, I think this started in December. Ever since nag-crash yung FTX, parang may ginawang development yung Solana. So there was open book and there was another one. I think parang airdrop lang siya. But then yung pinaka main gist is that they did some efforts to increase liquidity among Solana dexes. And ayun, mukhang nag-pay off and nag-rally na malakas yung Solana. So looking at charts, so right now, malakas lahat ng crypto. But then if you want to participate in Solana, as usual, mas maganda pa rin maghanap or maghintay ng pullback since since yung price ng Solana is already at resistance and ayun, baka wala masyadong upside right now if you plan to buy at this exact moment.
Yep. Alright. So thank you, Kahane boy. Next naman natin is Ethereum. Maybe we can do that for you, bro, Matt.
Nice. Ethereum, it's an intro. So at least for Ethereum, no, what we saw, how about chart?
Ay, Kahane, di pala nakabukas yung chart, bro. Di mo inopen.
Yeah, perfect.
Sorry.
Okay lang. Sa Ethereum at least, no, start of the move was January 4. You will see a clear breakout from its consolidation coming from its clear bullish divergence indicator. So meaning, you have a clear breakout dun sa December 22 plus dun sa December 27. And that causes a clear breakout, a big candlestick breakout noong January 4. Now, if you take a look at it, that's your short-term trend line. We saw a clear breakout. Next one is another breakout that was happened noong January 12 and then January 13. So if you put a clear trend line dun sa August 14, 2022 hanggang dun sa November 4, 2022. So mas malinis yung breakout dyan sa level na yan. So as you can see, as trader and investor, so marami naghabol dyan sa part na yan. Given dun sa January 4, walang masyadong nakapag-participate eh. Like Toma mentioned, last year going to this year, medyo negative pa yung nangyayari. So maraming nag-participate with a clear volume dun sa January 12 and 13. Now, we are approaching another resistance level at 1,675. So as a trader, syempre, as trader, like I mentioned kanina, classic RSI textbook, we're now at 80, 81, 83 level ng RSI. So major probability may onting pullback before moving higher. But as trader, something to look dun sa next resistance level ng 1680, 1670 level. So, and then if you really want to participate, mas makapag-accumulate kayo, wait for a clear pullback sa 10-day or even sa 20-day period. EMA, sorry. 10 or 20-day EMA.
Yun. That's for ETH. Tsaka ang daming ETH-related issues na sobrang lakas. Di ko na babagitin lahat.
Yep.
Pero ang dami. Sila mostly mga leaders actually. So, those are interesting to look at. So, going back to the PSE, ang next request natin is Bloom. So, one of the leaders as well. So, Bloom for you. Doc Mark.
Okay. So yan, currently, yan nga, Bloom, di ba? One of the leaders na nung the past 2 weeks. So, currently, testing yung resistance niya just sa price niya ngayon at 9 pesos. Yan. Yan, yung previous resistance niya dyan. So, currently, tinetest niya. So, for me, kung wala ka pa niyan, so, yun nga, wait for a consolidation. Kung mas maganda kung mag-consolidate siya dyan sa taas no? Pero kung meron ka, pwedeng trim or i-trail mo na lang kung nakuha mo siya sa baba. But, yeah, one of the strong issues ngayon yan.
Yun, alright. So, that's for Bloom. So, next naman natin, last two. Let's go to request ni June Martinez, Home. So, kahane pa ilabas si Home. So, kahane boy, ano tingin mo na sa Home?
Alright. So for home, yung magandang nakita ko dito while it was making its move was that sobrang laki ng volume dito sa baba. Whereas if you compare to the volume nung parang slow death niya, yung sell down niya, maliit lang yung volume niya. So if you compare it, ayun. So maliit lang yung volume niya. So charts wise right now, gumalaw na siya and it's currently consolidating. And ideally for me, mag-hold siya above MA50 or no. And so ideally mag-hold siya within this area. And if it breaks out, hopefully it can break out past its current resistance right now.
Yun. Alright, that's for Home. And for our final chart before we end. So, pero syempre before we end, so ako na sa final chart. Before we end, syempre, we'd like to thank everyone who joined us to watch tonight on this Sunday evening. To our 230 total people watching from Facebook and YouTube. Good evening sa lahat. And of course, a big thank you sa mga guests natin, our always guests every week for tonight. Open Journal, si Bro Matt, and of course, our newcomer, first time charting session, hindi kinakabahan, si Doc Mark. Maraming salamat. So guys,
Bahan nga ako eh.
comment naman kayo from us. And of course, from Open Journal, comment naman kayo ng thank you, Open Journal. So Matt, kanina actually, mayroon nagtatanong, no? So asa na ba yung, ito. From June Martinez din, tatanong, pwede ka ba maging mentor and coach, Sir Matt? Right? So Matt has been my mentor since 2019. So Matt, if we want to join Open Journal, if we want to continue learning from you, you already put something in the comments, right? Saan ba kami pwede pumunta? And what can we expect from Open Journal this coming 2023?
Perfect. So at least for Open Journal, it's actually private access and a trading community. And our goal and our strategies focus basically on cryptocurrency and the local market. If there's one thing natutunan ko, a decade of experience sa market, it's very important to have a community partner na tutulong sa'yo or even fast track your development sa trading different financial assets. So at least the expectation in Open Journal, at least we have a weekly market strategy update from Javi, from our mentor, Javi Medina, the first ever Investa Cup champion in 2017. And then we also offering a weekly coaching session, parang ganito, on a weekly basis. And then of course, a lot of video modules, training videos when it comes to our strategies and technique Basically, parang mga 100 hours, 200 hours of video modules na you will learn a lot. Again, Open Journal is your community partner that will help you fast track your development sa cryptocurrency and sa local market. So I posted the link dun sa Facebook, nag-comment ako, so feel free to check us out.
Yo, nice. So thank you, bro, Matt. And kami ni Kahane, syempre, we also recommend that you guys check out Open Journal as well. So for our final chart, which is FCG, I'll just quickly go over it. Figaro. So I guess ito actually, if the PEC continues to rally, medyo interesting lower cap na name. So coming from its IPO, medyo na-deads, right? Nag-consolidate for a while, but it's already moving higher, breaking out of that shorter term resistance at around 0.70. I guess what I would really wait for it to make a big move, if big moves are the theme coming into the next in Q1, it has to take out syempre yung IPO high, maybe just yung 0.95 to about piso. Marami just a volume profile, kita mo na maraming overhead supply na naiiwan sa area na yon, and if that can get broken out or breaking out, maybe we can see a move higher kasi this will be considered as an IPO base, no? So walang resistance, it's an all-time high. So sky's the limit, especially if the market continues to be good to us, right, for Q1. Pero syempre, one step at a time tayo dito kay FCG, right? First, we have to see more volume coming in, and we have to see it break out of these key resistance levels. So that's my take on FCG. And ayun, marami nag-thank you, OJ. Thank you, mga sir. So, remove ko lang yung screen share ni Kahane. So yun, that wraps up our first charting session for 2023. So again, Doc Mark, Bro Matt, maraming salamat. Naglaga ata si Doc Mark. Pero maraming salamat sa oras niyo. So,
At least smile siya.
at least smile. Ayun. So, siguro before we end the stream officially, right? Baka meron tayong mga parting words or final words, starting with you, Mr. Kahane.
Alright. So, parting words.
Tumawa.
Ayun. Tumawa rin kasi But anyway, parting words. So, gaya nga na na-mention kanina, always be prepared for what's to come. Malakas yung markets ngayon, and hopefully we can see a good few weeks or few months to come in the markets. So ayun, always be prepared and be ready to strike. Palaging handa yung mga watch lists, mga trading plans, and of course to execute on the plans.
Yun. Doc Mark?
And last words ba to?
Yes, last words.
So, so yun nga, sabi ko kanina, wag ma-FOMO, no? Have an abundance mindset. There will be a lot of opportunities. 2 weeks pa lang. So, meron pang 50 weeks for year 2023, no? So, focus on trading well and just keep moving forward. So, yun lang.
Parang nagka-light bulb moment ako dun. So, kaya ba 52-week high sa trading?
1 year
Dahil
yun.
52 weeks sa isang... yung pala yun. Akala ko number lang, bro. Bro, 5 years na ako nagtitrade, akala ko arbitrary number lang. Nagtatanong pa ako dati, ba't di na lang 50? Bakit may 2? 1 year pala yun. Okay. Salamat, Doc Mark. Salamat. So yun, just to echo yung words ni Kan and Doc Mark. No? So yun, 2 weeks pa lang, right? We're in this very strong window. Always stay prepared, but don't be complacent, right? Just because markets are strong now. There was also, it doesn't mean na we are sure that it's gonna reverse. There's also a very strong period where I was able to make good profits. A lot of people were able to make good profits. Open Journal, that was June, or early July to late August 2022. That was a very strong counter rally lang sa market, no. Pero ayun, it was just a counter rally, right? So take advantage of this window if you can. Stay prepared, but don't get complacent, no. We're not in a bull market yet. Bad habits won't be forgiven as easy as they would nung mid 2020 or 2017. So that's it from me. And syempre, good luck sa upcoming trading week. And in the words of Beo, eat your daily vegetables and drink your vitamins. No? So last but not the least, of course, Bro Matt.
Thank you, thank you. So, siguro for me, 2022 has been actually was very difficult for us, no. From my decade of experience sa market, that's actually the most difficult market na na-experience ko. But if there's one thing I learned for my decade of experience is the use of your proper risk management. If you really want to sustain this kind of business, okay, yun lagi yung mantra ko, lagi ko sinasabi kila Doc Mark and even sa Open Journal. If you really want this business, risk management is very important. You always put what if in your every trade. Hindi yan yung tipong I'm 100% sure, akit yan, I'm 100% sure, bababa. Always put what if, meaning that's also important when it comes to your 80% psychology and 20% skills. Whatever skills whatever knowledge you acquire, to your mentors, to your coaches, to your trading partners, even to your best friend, that's only 80%. 20% is your own execution. So again, always use your proper risk management and always remember your 80% psychology and 20% execution.
Yeah. Nice. I think that's a great way to end everything. Again, to those who want to continue to learn from Matt, Doc Mark, and Javi, Ed, and of course, Buong Open Journal. The link to check them out is in the comment section. So comment ni Maria. But bilis nakakabitin. So nakakapapa. First live charting session after a month, no. So babalik tayo sa 2 oras, no. Onting warm up muna for this week. So ayun, sabi June dito lang pala mga ganitong marami ka na matututunan sa dami ng groups na napasukan ko. Thank you. Thanks for all of you guys. So thank you din Boss June for joining, no. So hindi ko lang kung kasama sa groups ni Open Journal, baka hindi pa. So ako 2019 pa ako doon. So solid 'yun. So yun lang. And again, Doc Mark, Bro Matt, and of course, Kahane, bro, araw-araw naman tayo nag-uusap. Hindi na ako mag-thank you sa'yo. Mag-uusap pa tayo pagkatapos nito. Pero ayun, maraming salamat. And to everyone, good night, stay safe, and have a great week ahead in the markets and in life. Maraming salamat, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday evenings. Good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, and broadcast.